Hey everybody, Texas Trucker here, Lance's Performance Shop, Lone Star Mopars.com. It is hot in the shops, like 100 degrees out there. It's humid, it's crazy. I'm trying to get some stuff done. And, we're going to be taking a look at this little gym right here. So, this is from Icon. It is their new semi-deep sockets. That's actually what drew me to these. I have no standard chrome Icon sockets. Crazy, right? We went kind of experimental route. We did their 1/2 inch for our metric stuff, and didn't really pan out the way I thought it would. It was just I got 25% off coupon after 25% off coupon, and I cashed in. So we also have some swivels, but nothing just standard chrome. And I didn't really have any intention of jumping into it, but when they released semi-deep, I thought, you know what? I'm intrigued. Price point on these would be 45 bucks. I went ahead and pulled the trigger. I'll have these linked down below. Again, I do that for your viewing convenience. Obviously, there's no affiliate links there. I'm not associated with Harbor Freight. They don't like send me crud. I just literally do that. If you want to go look at other people's reviews, if you want to see if it's positive, negative, you want to check prices, if you want to check stock at your local stores, whatever, it's all there for your convenience, as is this. Okay. I've been wondering when I'm going to interject this thing, and the time is nigh. And if you're thinking like, whoa dude, you just jumped from sockets to a light, I did. And we're not going to spend much time on this, but I've had this sitting in a box over here by my workbench for a long time, and for good reason. I don't really need to open it because we have this. We picked this up, I don't know, relatively. I kind of like to see if things sink or swim before I jump in. And this was a deal where like my Astro's battery kept getting worse and worse, and the Braun, like, it takes forever to charge and isn't really that great. And so I was in the market for a new sort of like, you know, slim light, flip light type of a thing. This was there. The reviews were okay. Price point was $39.99. I've used this one quite a bit. If you watch the Ram Revival, you've probably seen it there. The biggest complaint, the most consistent complaint on these is with heavy use, these get hot. I think I've seen like 1 or 2 people say they melt. I haven't melted mine yet. Who knows, you know, what usage and charging cycles are applied there. That is something to be mindful of. You might want to check the reviews. But what kind of concerned me is the reason I grabbed this, I hadn't had any issues with this, and this was on like closeout pricing, which is crazy because it was brand new. Like, it was still showing up in the news section even on the website, and it went from like 39 down to like, I think it was, I know it was in the 20s. It was like 21, 24, 27, something stupid, and then I got 20% off of it. And, I was like, you know what, that thing has not sucked near enough for me to not jump on this deal, so I did. My true plan was honestly just like, okay, you know, this one's gonna die and it's gonna be at an inconvenient time, but I'll have this thing, same light, ready to go as a backup. That's sort of what I've started liking to do with their little puck lights, you know, the little Braun multicolored ones, which I still have been really happy with those. That's kind of my preferred light when I can use it. But there are certain times you kind of need something handheld, right? To just kind of go down, and where I can't get the puck would stop, right? This can keep going, and then I can use a mirror in the other hand or something. That's sort of where these shine, pun intended there. My intention, sole intention, was to have a backup light. However, I'm currently doing something that I don't typically do at work, which is replace belts on a World War II LeBlanc. And I was back there, and, you know, it got to be the end of the day, and I was still working, toiling away, playing with the adjustments on things, and one of the guys, you know, turned the lights out, and I was like, freaking A, you know, and then somebody came by and was like, you need a light down in there. And I was like, you know what, that would be really nice, because even with the shop lights, the overhead's on, you know, it's kind of off over in one of the bays. There's not a lot of great light. I'm by a window too, which mainly just lets heat in. I'm on cardboard, and I'm underneath the chip tray. This is just a nasty job. That's why you see all that stuff, you know, like farther up my forearm than usual. It's because I'm having to reach in farther. You know, it's usually like I'm filthy from like the wrist cuff down, right? And this is farther up, like towards the elbow. There's reasons for that. And I was thinking, you know what? I've got that Icon sitting at home. The biggest thing that sucks, and I'll be totally straight up and honest with you, you're like, okay, there's a cord, what's the deal? They don't give you a wall Like you get no plug to go into the wall. If you've got a surge protector, if your box has power strips, you know, if you have a USB or a laptop you can mooch off of, that's great. But like, I want to take this and I need the frickin' wall adapter, and I don't have one that came with a light, which is stupid. Especially for Icon. That's your, you know, do that with Braun, okay? Throw the Pittsburgh name on something like this. But Icon, even if it is getting closed out, which, by the way, I just went back to the website. This is still there. It's 39 bucks. I don't know what was going on. Was there a recall and they decided to sell it? I don't think so. But like I said, I've actually really liked this little guy. And so this is going to go to work. I'm going to charge it here tonight. In fact, I'm going to stop the video. I'm going to wrap this thing and get it charging, but just kind of walk you through it. Well, there's that. Like your pin light. There's 1, 2, and then flip side, you've got 1, 2, and you're out. And that's kind of it. And then the way this works, it sort of folds down like that, so it's compact. You can also, obviously, go to town in this manner. And then right here, this is obviously foldable territory. This is a magnet, so you can stick it to something. The downside, you stop here 180, right? So you can go back, you can come in all the way, but you just do the horizon, okay? You're never going to get to rotate it down with the full cob, which is kind of crazy. But, you know, like I said, for the price point, especially on this one, I'm not going to complain. It's little things I'd improve. This is your power button. You've got your charging port right there. It's USB. Just quickly running over this thing. Powerful cob LED light, wide angle backlight. It's got the flashlight beam, which I've actually used. I always think that's kind of cheesy. I've actually kind of used that a lot. So I guess it's not terrible. It's USB-C, which is a win there, at least in my opinion. Advertised on the back, you've got the front on high, which is 800, low is 200 lumen, 3 hours and 7 hours respectively, so more than double if you can get by with the 200 lumen. Where I'm at right now, any light would be appreciated. You know, my cell phone will just drain. The backlight, you're going to have 500 and 180 for your two settings. Runtime 4.5 hours and 8.5 hours. What I like there, it doesn't mirror the 800 and the 200. I know that's really close. The 500 is much farther off. But it's a situation where if you want to adjust the light and you can just kind of freeform spin this thing and get it set up, or if holding it, whatever you're doing, you got options, right? It's kind of nice. And then right here, the flashlight is 150 lumens, and it will run for 7 hours, which is crazy because the backlight, which is considerably larger than the flashlight, puts out an extra 30 lumens and runs for an extra hour and a half. You tell me. So I don't write the papers, I just read them. But it's claiming to be IPX4 rated for water resistance. And again, we covered the 180. It's compact, collapsible. I would kind of like for this side here to be like rotated. If we could take this to where I could have that full beam go down, I think I'd be a little happier. It would also protect it when it is compact like this, and then you just have that exposed, which if I had to lose the light, I would rather lose the little guy than the big stick, but hey, it's what it is. And by that, I mean like break it, you know, not misplace it type of a thing. So before we open this up, you know what? I'll do this to make most efficient use of my time. Back to this randomly. I know you're welcome for the interjection. So this is a 12-piece 3H drive set. It's the same thing in metric land. You actually get 12 pieces there, so the price point's going to be $44.99, 45 bucks you can call it. Obviously we didn't pay that. I do everything with a coupon there, 20% off. That's what we paid. What's really nice, in my opinion, by having the 12 pieces is simply the sizes we cover. Typically, you might start at like 3/8, right, and run to 3/4. This goes quarter all the way to 7/8. Now, you know, at work, I'd prefer 15/16. Would I ever run that on 3/8 drive at work? No, unless it's like a sidewall clearance issue. But I feel like 7/8 is pretty solid. Just going past 3/4 is a win. And then going down, that's really where you would, I think, get the most benefit with quarter and 5/16. You've also got 11/32, and you get into your bread and butter, 3/8, 7/16, half, 9/16, 5/8, all there and accounted for. 11/16, 3/4, 13/16, and 7/8. If I come around here to the back side, we've got some packaging information. What I'm going to do to expedite this, I'm going to open this off camera. I'm going to get that thing plugged in and charging, and then we'll take a look at our Icon 3/8 deep semi-drive. And yes, I totally realize that we said 3/8 deep semi-drive. That's, you know, one of those things. Kind of in a hurry, and it's hot. And if I wouldn't have pointed out what I just said, I think a lot of you might have not even noticed. But hey, I'm an honest guy, so back I go to opening it. All right, so we got 7 minutes and 41 seconds on this card. For everyone worried about the battery life, it's fully charged. No worries there. This is what we look like out of the packaging. The packaging, got to give credit to Harbor Freight here. If I flip this around, you're going to see 3 strips of cardboard at the bottom, and the one right there, that actually is a really good job sandwiching that. You'll note we opened her up from the bottom, and if I spin this over, we're going to quickly breeze through this. So, semi-deep length gives additional reach without limiting accessibility in tight spaces. Thin wall design to engage even the most difficult fasteners. Chamfered openings for easy fastener and drive engagement. That's always a win. Shallow hex depth positions fastener for easier thread starting. That's talking about like a nut in that case. Like if you've got a stud coming in, you're not like recessed all the way in the well, you're sort of up a bit. A lot of people prefer that. Some people are the opposite. It kind of depends what you're doing. Generally, I think it would be safe to say most people would want sort of the fastener up towards the top of the socket, but like I said, there will be situations where that is not desirable. Coming in, we've got hardened chromoly steel for increased torque and strength. That's interesting. Typically, chrome sockets are vanadium, so I was unaware that Icon's chrome sockets were chromoly. High polish finish, resists corrosion and stays clean. Easy to read size markings. Precision square drive for maximum torque. Again, designed by Icon in the U.S. Manufactured where? Taiwan. That's why the price points are where they are, and not reflective of a product manufactured in America. So, what I want to do here is, again, we're kind of under a time crunch. This, no tape, nothing. Just simple, easy to get off. The tray itself, I'm not a huge fan of these, especially with sockets. I've grown to actually like the wrench ones. I know it's crazy. They're not the most efficient space-wise, but they just function well. This, to me, is backwards. I don't know, maybe if you're concerned about keeping weight on your box even, it's backwards, okay? I read left to right. I wish Harbor Freight, I know they're targeting Snap-on, that's who they're kind of mirroring this one particular product after. I wish they would do their own thinking and their own thing, because it might be better. Case in point, if you look at their lower tier offerings like Pittsburgh and Quinn, they do things more the way I like them in terms of like stamping and stuff. I'm assuming these will be just like the Impacts, but case in point, I say what's backwards? 7/8 down to quarter. Also, that's there, it's, you know, legible. You can see that it says, you know, 7/8 or 9/16 or whatever you're after. But wouldn't it be nice if that was like a contrasting color, so it was like stand out and way more visible? That's something you could easily do and factor into the price point and appeal to consumers more with a standout product and take it a step above who you're targeting, which is Snap-on. Again, little thing, doesn't cost. It's probably the most economical thing they could do that would make this stand out. Can you come in with a paint pen? Yes, you can. Can you pick your color? Yes. But you're also stuck with this like hideous red maroon color that not many people are going to have as their first choice. Okay, it's not terrible, but it's not really even like a pure red. It's more of like a maroony burgundy red, and it's not really maroony. It's just one of those things. You either like this or you don't, and most people probably are closer to not liking it than liking it. Metric gets black, so that's kind of a wash. You know, it's sort of neutral. It's like, oh well, yeah, can't go wrong. But SAE gets this for whatever reason, I guess because it's similar to what Snap-on decided to do. Again, I mean, do your own thing, Harbor Freight. But right here, we're just going to come in and grab the big guy, and it is way lighter than I thought it would be. Decent chrome, at least on initial inspection here. What already irks me personally is it's stamped upside down, in my opinion. Now, if you do the peg style holders, you'll be happy. It mirrors what you have with Snap-on. You've got your 7/8 right there. There's your part number. There's the Icon branding. Again, you kind of miss an opportunity to stamp again or have laser etching or something, you know, just a little extra. But you can see right there, that's a little deeper than you'd think it would be. It's almost looks like there's an inconsistency down there. I don't know if it's a reflection or if that's just not like a true square. You know what I'm saying? You know how that looks sort of like wonky on these sides? Yeah, that's a bit of a concern. It is chamfered, very subtle though. That's not what I was expecting based on them touting it so well. Let's come in and get something a little bit more common. We'll just go 9/16. Again, crazy lightweight there. We might go more in depth with these in a future video. But what I want to do real quick, Capri, we're going to take their 3/4 and we're going to take an Icon 3/4. Why? Because this is a Capri semi-deep. So this Capri semi-deep, also chrome moly. You'll note the Icon is a little bit shorter. Coming down, you'll also note that the Icon is actually a shallower recess versus the Capri. Flipping it around, the one thing that I really truly hate about the Capri stuff is it's not chamfered. So even though this is subtle, I'm going to give the edge to Icon on that chamfer. Well, let's see if they maintain roughly the same profile here with the 1/2 inch. Again, Capri just edging it out height-wise. Indeed, that is the case. Nothing major, but noticeable. What I want to do now is come over to a 12-point Koken semi-deep. So let's come in. First thing first, we're going to go 3/4, 3/4, and you'll note the Capri semi-deep just a tad taller. But let's compare semi-deep Koken versus semi-deep Icon. I'm going to say the Icon is just a tad. I mean, we're talking shredding inches here. Taller than the Koken. Sidewall profile here, Koken very thin. Keep in mind that is 12-point versus 6-point. That's kind of what you're seeing there. But in terms of like the drive end there, again, this is the 3/4, not the 7/8. It doesn't look to be as wonky, but I want you to think of 90-degree corners with the chamfer, but keeping the corner square for your anvil. It's just a better look on the Koken. Koken, we're going to real quickly come in here with a 9/16. And you know what? We're going to have to do a follow-up because we're going to time out here. These are dang near identical. Again, I think it's just millimeters that the Icon is longer or the Koken is shorter. I want to go more in depth into this. I want to get this done so I can edit it because I'm strapped for time at work and I never know if I'm going to get free time to do anything. And even though I have a ton of videos covered, I try to keep them stocked and going. Plus, I want to use these. So, have you picked these up? What do you think of them? How do they compare to what you have in your arsenal? Are they holding up well? Do you hate them? If you don't have these, but you bought Icon chromes and 3/8 shallow or deep long ago, how have those held up? Leave those comments down below. Let your knowledge and experience shine. LoneStarMopars.com is the website. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all three at Lone Star Mopars. Hope you have yourself a fantastic weekend. Thanks for watching. Most importantly, I'll catch you back here next weekend. Man, this totally had more than 741. We rushed through that. So, yeah, I don't know when it's going to die on me, but sorry for rushing through here. Rest assured, we're gonna go a little bit more in detail here, but